tonight we are doing transformative energies for March moon, the worm moon. Now, it is February for me, so I'm going to start off by saying Happy Valentine's Day, Happy Chinese New Year, Happy Black History Month, Happy President's Day. I think we covered them all for the most part. Last month was very special. If you guys are interested, I made a video called The Year of the Horse, the Year of the Fire Horse, and you can see this link here. If you wanted to see how it applies to you specifically and what it actually means for you to be in your year and the Year of the Horse, feel free to check out this video, as it is going to talk about all of the things involving your sign for this year. Now, I am the Year of the Horse, and I'm also an Aries, so I'm super excited for the month of March because this is the start of the new year for me, all around actually. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about the worm moon and what it actually means. Now, the worm moon is March full moon and a powerful symbol of rebirth, growth, and awakening. And again, if you have been here through any of the old moons that we have talked about, you're going to know that we talked a lot about snow. And that's a lot of restorative energy, a lot of old debris, things that we are throwing out and no longer need. So we're getting ready for March, which is all about that new growth, that rebirth, that awakening. So we're getting some movement started. And it's so great that it's Aries because that's the sign that kicks everything off. All right, so the earth is softening. It is a new life stirring, and it's time for our spirits to rise with the season. In this video, I'm going to be sharing our worm moon rituals, and you can practice this at your own pace, at your own time during this full moon. It is a welcoming renewal and activating you into your next chapter. The worm moon that we are going into is actually going to be talking about the moment the soil begins to thaw, the earthworms are really starting to move around, return to the surface, getting ready to start awakening, right? You're going to have a lot of wintry days still, but it is going to be heading into those warmer seasons, which is bringing in that spring energy. Spiritually, this is going to represent the first moment after a long period of stillness, right? It's going to be a shift into opportunity, transformative prosperity, and spiritual awakening. This is a perfect moon for planting intentions, shedding old layers, and stepping into your next evolution. Okay, so we're going to start off with the first ritual. This is our seed planting intention ritual. Now, for this moon is perfect for planting literal or symbolic seeds. You're going to need some seeds, real or symbolic, for this ritual. Some soil, a pot, a small jar. Actually, any way that you kind of start to plant your garden, I would suggest doing that, as I'm going to be doing something slightly different. You will not see me showing you my things right now, as it is still February for me, and also I am destroying my room right now, so I'm not going to pull out all of my supplies. So instead, here's a visual for you. Now, this moon is going to be perfect for those seeds. So if you have any seeds in particular that you want to plant, whether it be like lettuce or some peas, some onions, some jalapenos, you can even do symbolic if you want to do like stones, you want to do money, you want to do beans. I typically like to do things like ivy or broccoli or anything that's going to have lots of seeds in it. Strawberries are a good one. Tomatoes are a good one. Something to represent prosperity, fertility, growth. First, to start off with, you're going to hold the seed in your hand, and then you are going to speak your intention. Then you are going to plant it in the soil as you visualize what it is that you desire. Next, and the final thing for this is water it under the full moon, and just keep the energy of manifestation, new beginnings, courage to start fresh. Take care of this plant as it is a representation of your fertility and your prosperity for the year. New money, new year, new growth, new opportunities. That's all this represents for you. Next, we are moving on to Ritual 2, Earth Connection and Grounding. Speaking of, do you like the way this looks? Like our new video? I don't know if you've seen the past videos, but they've been slightly different and in a different setting, of course, which will be another setting next time we do this. But if you're liking like the video composition, just let me know in the comments. I'm really interested to see if this kind of reflects better or if I should just go back to the old way. I kind of like this better though, I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, moving on to our ritual, Earth Connection and Grounding. Now, I typically will tell you a little bit about how I personally am going to do my setup for the ritual. I do this before I start my circle or in the middle of me in my circle, but like in the beginning of the circle, right? And mostly because this is all about setting your energy for your intention for this moon. So you're getting yourself ready, you're getting your energy ready, you're really trying to ground yourself in what it is that you're manifesting, right? So for the grounding ritual, you are going to stand barefoot or place your hands in the soil. Imagine there are roots growing from your fingers or from your feet into the soil. They're connected to you, into the earth. They're receiving all the information, all the nutrients. They're releasing all the extra energy that you don't need, and it's helping you to remain firm and steady. Now, grounding does not mean slow. It could just mean a foundation. It could mean solid. Think like stone, like a tree in a storm. It's not moving. It is rooted, right? Now, as you are thinking about this, you can say things like ground me, renew me, help me rise. That is going to be some of the things that you can say, but you can also use your own words. But saying this is going to create the energy of, being grounded and having the energetic atmosphere for these new beginnings. This ritual is going to balance your energy and awaken your spiritual strength. So, time to tap in. Okay, Ritual 3. This is our renewal cleansing bath. This bath is going to symbolize shedding old layers, like wintry skin. Think like a snake shedding its skin. Ingredients are going to include salt. I like Epsom salt. You can also use sea salt. Good for that. Green tea for energy. Lemongrass for freshness, is giving like the spring new growth. Mint for clarity of mind so that you are making decisive actions. And honey to sweeten it up with some prosperity. Now, you're going to either put this in your tea bag. You can hang this in your shower, or you can also put it in your bathtub. However it is that you would like to do this ritual, you just need to be rinsed over with the contents of your tea bag. Some people will just sprinkle this in the water. I particularly like to sprinkle things in the water, but depending on what it is, like if it's super herby or something, I'll put it in the tea bag so that it doesn't get everywhere. When you are finished, you are going to, during your soak, you are going to be envisioning your old identity. And much like the old snow dissolving once the heat warms up, you're going to be envisioning your old identity, the old person that you were, dissolving into water and washing away. Because we are into a new year, we are starting off with new energy. So all the things and all the people that you are wanting to be in this next year, that is who we are going to be growing in this moment. So all the things that are preventing you from being that new person, from being that new identity, let it wash away. And I'm not telling you to change yourself completely. I'm just saying the things that are holding you back, it is time to rinse them away. Now, when you are finished, air dry, absorb the renewal energy around you. Let the essence of that newness kind of cling to the skin as the water dries on it. The purpose of this is to do a timeline reset. You are acknowledging the emotional baggage you once had, which we let it go a lot of in our last full moon. And in this moon, we are going to be doing the emotional cleansing, the new momentum. No longer are we sitting in stillness. We are now taking our first steps. we are moving on to ritual 4. This is our transformation candle ritual. I love working with candles. It's so much fun. Okay, so we are going to have 2 candles this time. One is going to be a dark candle. You can use black, you can use dark blue, you can use purple, any dark color that you want to do, but I'm going to tell you what it means. And then the other one is going to be a light candle. So you can use white, you can go pink, yellow, any of those lighter kind of colors. Now, the representation is going to be about like the 2 pillars of society, right? So you have Boaz versus Jachin. You have mercy versus severity. You have good versus evil. Religion versus politics. Either way, it is a set of opposites that are working on a duality type system. Use these 2 candles to honor your transformation. So light the darker candle and speak what it is that you are ready to release. Again, severity, darkness, negativity, those things that you are wanting to get rid of, even if they're not all negative, you can also start lighting those for that. Now, keep in mind, whatever color candle you want to use is going to represent a certain type of energy. Here are the colors of the candles and what they are going to mean when you are using them. But the most simplest way to do is to use a black candle and a white candle, but feel free to mix up however you want. Now, when you light the dark candle and are ready to release, go ahead and blow it out. Now, you can also take a piece of paper, write down what it is that you're trying to release, burn it on that candle, and then blow it out once you're done. Then we're going to light the candle for your transformation. Now, green is a great candle for this. White is a great candle. Yellow is a great candle. But either way, it has to be a lighter color. You can use pink even. Once you light the candle, you're going to declare what you are becoming. So again, write it down, what it is that you are trying to do. You can speak it. Either way, go ahead and burn it in the fire, and then recognize this is going to bridge the gap between your old self and your new self. So we're not jumping like 20 million steps ahead, but we are making bigger changes in this time so that we are bringing in that new renewal energy. Okay, moving on to Ritual 5. Ritual 5 is Worm Moon Prosperity Jar. Also, could be a mojo bag, up to you on how you would like to package your ingredients and keep it with you. This moon supports abundance and opportunities. The ingredients you're going to use is rice, which is going to represent the multitude of opportunities and the amount of abundance that you are getting. Basil, which is always great for abundance, bring in that green, you know what I'm saying? Next you have cinnamon, which cinnamon is going to be all about speed. It also has a hint of protection in it, so speedy but protected. Then you have bay leaves. Bay leaves are all going to be about intentions, but specific intentions. If you want, you can also write what your intentions or what you're trying to bring as far as abundance and opportunities are concerned on the bay leaf and put it in your pouch with that. Then you're going to add a coin and a written goal. If you are working on something or heading in a direction, make sure to write it down, and you're going to put it in your mojo bag. Now, I am going to tell you to remember, when you are doing positive mojo bags or even prosperity jars, put in an odd number of ingredients. The odd number is going to keep the door open so that those positive things come into your life. If you have even number, that is not a mojo bag, and that is not what we are doing, okay? So as you add each ingredient into the jar, focus on your growth. Focus on that opportunity. Try to infuse the energy of that moment successfully done so that your body and your mojo knows what you're aiming for. It is heading towards that type of energy for you. Now, you're also going to seal it. So you can seal it with water, you can seal it with blood, you can seal it with your saliva. So whatever it is that you're trying to seal it with, that's how you're going to seal it. And then keep it in your workspace. Keep it where you are going to be making those things that give you money. If you're putting it in a mojo bag, you want to wear it with you. Wear it with you to work. Wear it with you to meetings. Wear it with you to places that you're looking for those new opportunities and investments. The purpose for this is going to attract prosperity. Remember, it's going to attract job opportunities. It's going to attract clients, financial growth, all of those things, okay? Next, we are moving on to Ritual 6. Spring Spirit Sweep. This is going to be a home energy reset. Now, if you did look at my last video, you will have seen that I did also encourage you to do something like this for the new moon of February 17th, where was the new moon, and we were clearing out old energy, welcome in new positive energy. But this is the bridge between the old moon and the new moon, the old full moon with this new full moon. So as we are going into the worm moon, that is why you're going to see the spring spirit sweep. So if you've done that already, feel free to keep that as like something that you wanted to have done. But if you haven't, this is for you. So this is a cleansing ritual using movement instead of smoke. Okay, so you're going to open your windows, sweep from the back of your home towards the front door. As you sweep, you are going to say winter energy out, spring blessings in. Winter energy out, spring blessings in. The purpose of this is to clear out all that stagnant old energy from last year. We're in a new Chinese New Year. We're in a new year period. We are resetting and we are getting our home ready to start that momentum. I honestly cannot wait to do this in my new place. I'm so excited to sleep and clean. All right, we're going to move on to Ritual 7. We are doing the worm moon journaling. Now, as you know, I am a journal girly. I think that we all should be writing down our feelings, also our growth and our patterns. It is to tell you where you have been and usher you into where you are going, so you can see your progress, so you can see how many miniature steps you have taken to get you to the bigger spot, and so you can also keep track of the blessings that you have in your life and the things that you are going through. It is good for mood regulation, all kinds of things. Like, if you haven't started journaling yet and utilizing the journals that you have in stock, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Please get a journal, especially if you're going to be following along and doing these type of rituals, because you're going to see the changes that are occurring in your life from where you started, from where you were projecting to, and how far you have gotten towards that goal. Now, for the Ritual 7 Worm Moon journaling, you are going to write down some of these prompts. What part of me is ready to grow? What old identity am I shedding? Where is new opportunity trying to emerge for me? What habit or mindset am I ready to release before spring? The purpose of these prompts are going to be align yourself with your thoughts and with your transformation. So, who you are now to where you want to be. You can be thinking about 5 years from now. You can be thinking about 10 years from now. You can think about 1 year from now. Either way, take a look at who you are right now. Acknowledge the things that you like, the things that you do not like, and make a list of those transformations that you are trying to accomplish in this year. Now, this is going to be, again, part of getting that energy together for your full moon. I would suggest doing this part before you do your mojo bag, so that when you do your mojo bag, you have a clear idea of what it is that you are trying to do. I will do this in my circle though, so typically I will have that cleansing ritual before the circle. I would do the grounding ritual while I'm in the circle. I would do this journaling portion. I also do a meditation, which we'll talk about soon. But once you do the journaling, then I would do the mojo bag. And that is, again, to remind you of where you're coming from, what energy you are striving for, what that energy feels like, what it looks like. You'll have the whole picture. Visualization is magic, I'm telling you. It all starts up here, then you put it on paper, and it's reality before you know it. Ritual 8, nature offering ritual. I love this part of doing the rituals, and you can do this every time before you do a new moon or a full moon. If you go to the beach, if you go to some water, if you go spend time in nature, it is always great to do an offering ritual. And mostly it's because you are thanking nature for, one, keeping you safe, two, providing, always providing, and three, being able to rejuvenate you in this moment. Because as you're going in, you are taking energy from this space, but it also, you are giving out energy as well, and you're being cleansed throughout this process. So we want to be very grateful to all things contributing to the better us, right? So for your nature offering ritual, you are going to give back to the earth. That's awakening. It is like Valentine's for the earth, or a birthday, or whatever you want to call it. But like you would give your gifts to your friends or your family, you do it with joy in your heart. You do it with love and kindness, and not expecting anything in return, just showing gratitude. So offer bird seeds during this time, fruits, herbs, place it at the base of a tree, a bush, whatever it is that you are going to be around. Then speak a blessing of gratitude to the land. You can do a small little meditation if you would like, but all you're trying to do really is build that connection with the natural guides, with your grounding spirits, and asking them to continue to look over you and to replenish you as you're going through these processes. Number 9. Worm Moon Pathway Visualization. This is our final ritual that I'm going to be telling you guys about, but I am going to give you one more ritual to incorporate for your new moon, but let's start with number 9. Number 9, Worm Moon Pathway Visualization. This is the meditation ritual that I was telling you that we were going to talk about, and here it is. For this, you can turn on the meditation that I'm going to be creating, which will be right here. You can also follow your own meditation. I like to put my meditations with the energy that I'm going to be using for the full moon, as well as some sound frequencies in the background to help with the energy to incorporate more of that same and like. It's going to amplify each other and amplify you during this process of getting into that renewal energy, that new growth, that momentum of prosperity and abundance. That's all this is going to incorporate, so that it's getting you ready and getting you in this emotion and this feeling, so you know what to look for when those opportunities arrive. I'm trying to have you match energy to energy, okay? So in case you are trying to rely on your intuition and you're not exactly sure how to do so, tap into that meditation. It's going to help you to identify what that energy looks like, and then how to recognize it once it comes up for your next full moon cycle. So close your eyes, and you're going to imagine walking through earthly green spring. There's going to be a visualization for a path forming at your feet, and at the end of the path, you are going to see your spring goal clearly. You're going to see your spring goal very clearly. Now, the meditation, as I said, is going to lead you through this practice, but also is going to show you how to ask your guides for information, for downloads, so that you know where to get that next step from, so you know what energy to look for. The purpose of this visualization is to strengthen your focus, to give you a solid direction to head in, so that you can tap into your intuitive clarity. All right? So if you are all interested in that information, feel free again to check out this video, and I will see you in the meditation. Well, you won't really see me. I'll just have visualizations going, so enjoy the visuals. Okay, so before I tell you our ritual that is for the new moon of the worm moon, I am going to say to you that this worm moon reminds us that growth begins beneath the surface. It is slow. It is quiet. Sometimes you do not even know it is happening until you see that green little sprout coming out of the earth. Remember that the growth is with purpose, though. If these rituals inspire you, Please do share so in the comments. Let me know if you found this useful or if you use any of these practices already. If you want to even throw in some rituals of your own down in the comments, feel free to do so. I would love to see it and talk about it. Trust me, I'm looking for my community just as much as you guys are. Well, I have some, but I like looking for more people. We do have meetups. I live in Hawaii, so I do meetups all the time around here so that I can talk to others about what is going on in their lives, what they are expecting from their year, how they're moving, how they can get support from us, because it's a sister circle, so we are supporting each other. We do open it up to all of the communities, so male or female, and the sister circle is really just for the sisters, but once we do community events, we open it up for everybody. We have food, we have laughter, we have just joy all around, and we need some joy in today's society, so let's tap into that, okay? So if you again are interested in learning more about our other workshops, our Instagram, where you can find us at the Gardens, _Gardens, _326. 326 is numbers for abundance. It's also just a great time, okay? Now, like it, subscribe, follow us, and I will see you guys around. Let's tap into our last ritual, though. So, we are talking about a ritual / spell to do for your new moon in March for the worm moon season. This is going to be for March 17th or March 18th. It just kind of depends on where you are in the world. It will be like March 18th for me, but maybe be the 17th for you. Just tap in to check out your time frame and where that new moon is going to be appearing for you. Now, this ritual / action spell is called the momentum ritual or action spell. Okay, so this moon supports movement. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. All right. It's because it's Aries energy. Let's be honest. They're a little crazy and they like to just move fast. I speak of myself, but I digress. This moon supports the movement. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take out our handy dandy journal. We're going to write down the goals you are scared to start. And I kind of want you to be slightly delusional. Like you can be like, I want to be a billionaire. I want to have a husband. I want to have 5 kids. You're probably not going to get those things by the end of the year, but it's going to get you on track to get there. Do you get what I mean? Be delusional. I always learn, and they used to say this, but I'm going to tell you it's kind of backwards. They were like, shoot for the moon, because if you miss, you'll land on the stars. I'm going to tell you to shoot for the stars, because the moon is closer than the stars, and if you shoot for the stars, you might land on the moon, and we love the moon, okay? At least around here we do. So once you have wrote down these things, go ahead and fold up your paper toward you 3 times. Tap it on the ground or on a wooden table 3 times. You see what I'm doing there? 3 times 3, okay? And then say, I begin, I move, I rise 3 times. I begin, I move, I rise. I begin, I move, I rise. The purpose of this is to break up stagnation and activate action. Now, I'm also going to tell you how I like to do my little spell work, other than making my circles, is I like to do movement. So I'll do either a brief exercise, I'll do some yoga, I will be dancing, shouting, whatever it is to get that personal energy up. Because once you do your spell work, you want to flow it into whatever it is that you're doing that spell on. Now, there are other ways to tap into spell energy and the different types of energy to do this. For this one in particular, I say movement is going to be best. Do some dancing, do some shouting, do some tapping. You can do this during the day or at nighttime. It is up to you completely. But that is what you're going to do to start to move towards those goals and call in some abundance. If you guys are interested in learning more or seeing some other things that I take part in my community, feel free to follow me on Instagram. You can also follow the channel and share it. The more you share, the more people who find me, and I'm happy to be found. Per usual, stay blessed and highly favored.